We're seeing office buildings, B and C office buildings trading for under $200 a foot. That was the price in the 90s. Where are the opportunities in New York today?
Let's take Manhattan specifically. So it's hard to say New York because you're talking about sort of the outer boroughs, and one area of Queens is different than that area of Queens. But if you're talking about Manhattan generally, if you think about the demand for housing, it's almost insatiable. I watch, like you do, YouTube and all of these social media things where people are talking about house prices in Florida are falling and Texas is going over a cliff and this and that. We put a listing for one of our apartments on Street Easy. We get 50 responses in an hour. There's no market in the country that I've seen where the demand is so incredibly strong. And admittedly, it's for affordable stuff. We're not advertising apartments for $25,000 a month, but there's such a huge demand. And I think it's incumbent on the city administration to do whatever they can to promote the conversion of these buildings to residential. I don't see what the barriers are that prevent those kind of laws being passed, those kind of changes to zoning being passed. I can understand that if you don't want to, you have a 30-story building, you don't want it to be a 90-story building. I can understand. But these mid-block, underutilized office buildings, most of which were built in the period from, let's call it 1920 to 1940, right? They have plenty of light and air. They have operable windows. They have reasonable floor heights, but they don't have the purpose, utility, and value that they should in an apartment building. So we've seen a lot of the 1960s and 70s office buildings being bought by people and converted to apartments, and that seems to be a very good business. And I think that business has legs to it and will continue. I don't understand why it hasn't happened more on this quality of stock.
Two reasons. One, City of Yes rezoning passed this past December 5th, so it only just went into effect. And the 467M tax abatement program is very, very robust. It's going to precipitate a lot of these conversions happening. Think about it. You pay no real estate taxes during your construction period. That's up to 30 months. And then you get a 90% reduction in real estate taxes for 35 years. That's very compelling. That's going to force a lot of these buildings to be converted. So we think that the B and C office will disaggregate into three buckets. Some buildings will stay office, be renovated, because every tenant can't pay $200 a foot in a new building. Some will be converted to residential, and based on how these values are getting so low, even when you layer on demolition costs, they're going to be demolished because the price to buy the building plus demo is less than land value. So it's really, I think there's great opportunity.